giggle that you Google. All right. We are live.
All right. Welcome to the Elk Season Podcast, Season 2, Episode 12. Today is May 4th.
May the 4th be with you.
Yeah.
Don't screw that one up.
I know. I can't even. I have no reason to deny any Star Wars fun. I love all things Star Wars. May the 4th even.
I'm going
Even Jar Jar Binks. I'll say it. It's okay.
Misa don't like you.
I know. But I do. Anyways, it's 117 days until elk season.
117, man.
How you feeling?
I'm feeling better.
Yeah.
My weight's come down. I'm
So
like
is mine, yeah.
25 pounds
Yeah.
lighter than I was for the last 10 years.
Yeah, same.
I feel better physically. As far as muscle mass, I need to do more exercise, but I've been getting out hiking, walking really.
Yeah.
But when I'm walking, and I don't know if there's any, it's a mentality I have. I don't know if there's any basis for this thought, but I try to the trail system on campus. Once I get off the sidewalk, I go to the trail system, but I walk along the bank of the little creek that goes through campus rather than on the trail.
Yeah.
Because there's more variations in the ground.
A lot more.
And so I want my body to get used to the differences in those.
Yes.
And so that's one of the things, the little things I do.
That should strengthen your ankle stability.
Yeah.
Kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Just not in long stretches. In the long stretches, you're going to need your trekking poles.
Right.
And those will help with exactly that.
Yeah.
But that is smart move. Strengthening whatever little bit you can take now.
Yes.
You add those walks up over the whole summer, over a few more years.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hard as a rock.
So
every muscle.
Been enjoying the weather finally letting up a little bit. It's a little bit rainy and windy today. Graduation's tomorrow at the college, and so
oh really?
We were prepping today and trying to prepare for the possibility for rain. We don't know how much, if at all.
Is it outdoor?
It's inside, but we usually line up outside.
Yeah.
But they're going with Plan B just in case.
Wow.
But it's not a big deal. It's a small thing. It's a minor adjustment. It's just, people coming from all over the place to see their family graduate, and
of course,
hopefully it's pleasant and doesn't rain too much. Yeah. So anyway, big day tomorrow.
Awesome. Are you glad to have the semester over with? And
I am. It's been a busy semester, but there's been a lot of interesting successes that I've seen the students have, particularly in the classes that I teach, and so I'm very happy with how things have gone. In fact, I had a success. Not that this isn't what the podcast is about, but
sure.
I initiated something in my classes at the beginning to try to help students be more mindful of the stress that putting class on top of their already busy lives brings. And we talked a little bit about it through the first quarter of the semester. Didn't really bring it up, but a handful of students at the end of the semester said that really stuck out to them as something that helped them kind of push through.
Oh, really?
So the fact that was unprovoked at the end when it came to their papers they would write, that came out from them.
Wow.
And so that was a useful tool, and I'm glad I initiated it. I'm going to continue developing it and using it. But, how do we build resilience? How do we understand, there are some things we know, and if we can know about them up front, we can maybe plan for them, kind of like what we do here.
Manage expectations.
The idea of the podcast, in part, was manage our expectations, but keep it in mind so that we can prepare for those things we want to do. Yeah. And I think it helped a lot last year.
So do I.
I really did.
And that's the purpose of the Elk Season Podcast, is to keep everybody's mind in tune with elk ecology and elk season all year long.
Yeah.
Because it is my whole year.
Yeah.
I depend on elk season so much every year.
And this episode particularly has quite a few elk talking points, I would say. So there's that. We're going to talk a little bit about the weather, and let's see, corner crossing came back up for me.
Yeah.
You said you hadn't come. I don't know that it's anything spectacular.
Okay, and that's all right. Update's an update.
But then also a situation related to a grizzly bear over by Yellowstone.
Okay.
So
I may have heard that. I may have heard about it, but nothing's coming to mind. So
we'll see what happens when we get there. So where are we starting today then?
Let's start with the big melt, because the big melt hasn't started yet. Well, it has started, but barely.
It's kind of trying,
And we have 1 week of springtime temperatures out west.
Yeah.
I would call them springtime temperatures. Yeah. But then we're already going to be in mid-May. and the weather's really going to get warm.
Yeah.
We did have 5 days of 80 degrees. We did have a little bit of snow, and you saw a little, I saw a little bit of flooding come across, but nothing even like what it was a few weeks ago.
No. It's a slow burn. Wait, is that right? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a slow melt.
Yeah, well, so there's some other stories in here related to that.
Yeah. So this and that's what I pulled up, at least this initial one. I hope this is where you're going. In Sawtooth National Recreation Area.
Yeah.
They're saying, look, we have extended our seasonal closures because it's just not melted off. It's not clear. There's a high snowpack.
And it's honestly not a good idea to go in there when the Forest Service says it's closed.
Yeah.
I mean, I know it's public land, and I know, like, you can, but it's a really bad idea. And you and I have been there.
Yeah.
Was it March we tried to go into Wisdom? It was like the end of one spring break.
And
we tried to go in.
Well, that not in the Sawtooths, but in Montana.
No, it was in Montana, yeah.
And you were bringing me home from spring break, and we pulled in, and you got stuck.
Oh, so bad.
And we weren't even in the mountain yet.
No.
We were next to this ranch on the access road.
But there were no tire tracks past where we were. Nobody even tried to go.
Nobody. No.
So that was a good place to turn around.
Yeah.
I'm glad we got out of there.
Yeah.
But
that was actually around the location that I saw the wolf that one year when we were camping.
Yeah. And that was March, and this is May, and so I know a lot of people want to get out, but it's a bad idea.
Be patient.
I would much rather drive on super slippery ice at high speeds than in the mud anywhere.
Yeah.
Mud is terrible.
Sorry. That conjures up memories of the Monte Carlo. Okay.
So many memories, so many bad memories.
Whoa. Yeah, so I'm curious to see how this El Nino is going to shape up.
Yeah, so they're just kind of announcing an El Nino.
Yeah.
And I found this map today, and I thought, oh, that's interesting. It's going to change. There's one for increased precipitation and one for increase in temperatures.
Yeah.
And people lacking in one and having the other are going to be in a certain situation, and people having both are going to be in a different situation. So it looks like, for the most part, the Intermountain Northwest is going to avoid most of that, most of the effects of El Nino.
Yeah, it's equal chances for those weather patterns. Northern Idaho.
But the Southwest is going to suffer from it.
Yeah, the Southwest and the Northwest.
Yeah.
So up in the northern Idaho, western Montana, Washington, northern Oregon, all predicted to have below precipitation. And then you go down.
So that will affect us, because that does affect those mountains we hunt in.
Yeah.
So it will be, but do we also have higher temperatures?
Yeah. Well, that same area is predicted to have higher temperatures, but where we're at right here in Twin Falls, equal chances for temperatures to go.
But the high temperatures and low precipitation in the Idaho mountains.
That's a tough one.
That's crucial for understanding an elk hunt.
Yeah.
Very crucial.
Very
How
important.
long has it been hot? How hot has it been? How much water is there or hasn't there been?
Yeah. So if you think about what that could translate to, should this come to fruition, I think speaks to what we've been seeing where we have been going for the last couple of years.
Yeah.
The elk are just up that much higher.
Oh my gosh.
Higher.
You think right. And you think it's so hot they got to come down to water.
But there's water up there everywhere.
But there's a lot of water up there, and the temperatures are much better up there year round, or at least in the summertime, the temperatures are much better around the clock, 24 hours a day.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's good. And I have seen them at least at 11,000 feet up there.
Yep.
I mean, almost in the rocks.
Yeah, where we chased that big boy up to last year.
Yeah,
that last day.
Ripper Pass.
Ripper Pass.
Yeah,
man.
I've even higher than that.
Yeah.
Because I stayed. Remember, I backpacked in the weekend I saw the wolves. I stayed on that one ridge that overlooks the kitchen, and so I could see all the way in the backyard where the big Rocky Mountains are.
Yeah,
I saw them up there.
Yeah,
So I'm on that finger ridge, and I'm looking up at elk, and I camped there thinking, oh, at least I won't have to hike up. But that's where I was seeing them. Anyway.
Yeah. So
and that was a super hot year. Super hot.
It'll be interesting to see how how the water tables end up with this big melt off.
But you're right. I've always seen water up there.
Yeah.
And always up high. Oh, amazingly up high.
Lots of little springs that just pop out of that mountain.
And it's amazing. These little springs are little tiny trickles of a creek, smaller than, the width of my arm.
Yeah.
And the elk will bed in it.
Yeah.
They're there. Mm-hmm. They're there. They are hiding in the trees, and they are trying to stay cool. And they stay cool by staying really, really close to that stream bed.
Yeah. And it's some of the best water I drink up there, too.
Oh, it's so good.
It's
so good.
That fresh spring water.
Yeah.
My goodness.
So we'll continue to follow the weather, as always, as we get closer and closer to elk season. But it looks like Utah and sort of the Intermountain Northwest, the Pacific Northwest has a little bit more of an effect from the El Nino.
And that's what I was trying to describe.
And the Intermountain Northwest has less, and then the Southwest has the same similar effect.
Sort of sandwiched together.
Yeah, we'll just keep an eye on it.
I don't know if you wanted to go this direction yet, but it has to do with the harsh weather through the winter. It has to do with Colorado. They're slashing some elk tag availability because of how the snowpack is. So I don't have images for this, but the way that the water they release from Lake Howell downstream has risen in Lake Mead, but Lake Howell is starting to rise. Yeah. So it's good. The big melt off is already and I think what I heard is they're predicting it to go up about 90 feet.
Wow.
If I heard it right.
Wow. It's probably right, but it sounds crazy.
It does, because think of how much water that is.
Holy
to go up 90 feet.
Oh my gosh.
Martini glass. Think about it.
Yeah, it doubles. It doubles in size almost every foot.
Yeah.
Well, it feels like it does. That's incredible.
Yeah.
90 feet.
But they claim they're not out of the ballpark yet, but we'll see.
Yeah, it's Lake Powell, by the way.
Did I say Howell?
You did. You said Howell.
Just want to make sure you're paying attention. You passed the test. Thanks for playing.
John Wesley Powell is an absolute hero. Man, he fought in the Civil War. He lost an arm, and he was the first guy to explore the Colorado River.
False.
With an arm, without one arm.
False. Just kidding. I have no idea.
Well, it's true. It's true, and he's awesome. He's an awesome guy. If you want to read a great book, it's called Beyond the 100th Meridian by Wallace Stegner, the former head of the creative writing department for Stanford University.
And I will just take this moment to say, Mr. Howell, I'm sorry for not calling you Mr. Powell.
Thank you. Yeah, I just don't want anybody to look up on a book on a poor guy and go, who's this Howell character?
Wow.
I love reading about dams and water. Who's this Howell character?
I don't see a Howell. I see a Powell. Probably not the same thing.
But that wasn't it. That was not. Howell's not even close.
I better keep looking. There's a Howell Canyon. I wonder if that... Wow.
Okay. We went all the way. We went all the way to the dead end on that one. I like that.
Yeah, I'm just letting that moment of silence.
That's all right. It's a cul-de-sac. We'll turn it around. We'll bring it back out. It's okay.
Yeah. So, should we talk about? Should we talk about the grizzly bear?
Yeah. Because I saw some grizzly bear content this year too, or this week, and they're coming out of their den, and
so
they're being spotted.
This article was not very descriptive, because it's an active investigation of a grizzly bear found dead near Yellowstone.
Okay.
Speculation was that it has been shot.
Okay.
In the article, they said that this is the time they're coming out of their den, so because of the population, it's not uncommon for people to come across them.
Yes.
And so, don't know. I would really like to know what happened, and I'm sure they'll release that in due time.
I hope so too, yeah.
At least to what extent they know. But the poor thing is just hunched over there, just gone.
Oh, wow.
So,
no, I did not hear. I thought maybe I'd heard something about a grizzly bear, but no, I didn't know that there had been one possibly poached.
Yeah. And
if it's a defensive thing, then people usually would report that.
Yeah. And it makes me wonder if it was a defensive thing, but it's like, it's a grizzly bear and they're afraid of getting in trouble.
Right. I know. I have those same emotions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I
don't want to shoot because of the paperwork. Honestly, I'm being honest.
Yes.
I don't want the comments, and I don't want the haters in my comments section.
Right.
Please don't charge me, Grizzly Bear.
But I would say that if you know anything, if whoever you are is in an earshot of this sound of my voice, speak up. It's okay. That we need the data more than we need to not know.
Yeah, please.
So yeah. And then the corner crossing thing real quick. I don't think there's much to tell here. I just saw
You know what? It is spring bear season. To
Yeah.
be fair, that it might be misidentification.
Oh yeah. So they thought they were shooting at a
A black bear. So that could be one of those. So I just want to throw that out.
Yeah,
there.
that's actually a good
I'm
point.
open to all possibilities there, but it is spring bear season.
Yeah. I mean, it is a grizzly bear that was shot, but it could have been misidentified by the or that was killed. They're not sure how.
Right.
They haven't released how they
Right.
the ranch owner implicated in the corner crossing.
Yeah.
The statement here says no $7 million claim if the judge rules corner crossers trespassed. So what he was saying is, if I can remember the article, I'm a few days removed all of a sudden. I did take a screenshot of something that I hope will help me be more informed here.
So nothing's been decided yet. This is the judge saying, if I decide. No, this is the plaintiff.
Yeah.
Saying, if the judge decides, I'm not going to charge you $7 million.
Yeah. He just wants to make a point.
I just want to get it on record. All right, I told you this. This is really, really important for the future of a lot of hunting out west. Really important.
So I can't expand more beyond that, but I can say this, this is what I took a screenshot of because it seemed like, well, that's interesting. I guess the plaintiff, last name of Eshelman, asserted Wednesday, apparently for the first time, that one of the hunters actually did set foot on ranch land. The ranch owner's legal team used coordinates subpoenaed from the Onyx company that makes this GPS hunting map app to make the claim. So,
Okay.
So, yeah.
So, if he did set foot on land, then that's actual trespassing.
Yes.
And an actual corner crossing is yet to be decided.
Yes.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. It's a weird one.
Oh yeah. It's all gonna be weird like this, and it will. And this is just how the American law system works.
Yeah.
Really bizarrely, you put in place a law, and then you have to have some really strange circumstances to say, yeah, but to that law.
Here's what I would like to see happen.
Of course. All the world to join hands and sing in harmony.
In a way. Now, here's how we can get that done.
Okay.
No. So let me give you a different case. Okay. In Montana, if I want to fish a stream on your property, can I?
Depends on the size of the stream.
But there's right of way as long as I stay to a certain degree.
Yeah, I don't know. I wish I knew. I don't know the laws in Montana. I know I just fish the streams.
So I know this is a Wyoming case, but I'm just saying that I like the law where I can go down the stream, and if it crosses your property, I can't trespass beyond so many feet out of the bank. Right? It's a corner crossing.
Right. And
I should be able to have a right of way to get to my public land through that corner at the expense of a small footprint on your land.
Yeah.
It's I don't see it being much different from that creek, the liability creek thing. Or whatever, if you think you know what I mean, right? To me, that's what makes sense.
Okay, that's a good precedent to use. I like that.
So I'm not a lawyer.
No.
And my opinions do not reflect the opinions of the talent do not reflect the stance of the corporation or whatever.
Also, I'm not a financial advisor. I don't have any advice for you, but I want it to be known.
There you go.
I'm not a financial advisor.
That's great. So anyway, but it's I'm just curious where that was going to go up. But
good. That's another good data point to have. It's another good discussion point to have.
Yeah.
To say, okay, where is the corner crossing going?
Yeah.
Because it's got to be going somewhere.
Yeah.
And I want to know where it's going because it could go bad. And where it is right now is kind of bad.
Yeah.
So it just needs to improve. We need to get the corner crossing case settled. And
I can appreciate not having people trample on your land. I get that.
Yeah.
Trespassing and people, squatters. There was a guy over in the UK.
Yeah.
Had squatters on the road to his house.
Yeah.
He gets his little front loader forklift.
Yeah.
Picks up the guy's car and drives it back out and topples it into the road.
Okay.
And the guy's taking video like, how dare you? And this is going to go to the court.
Right.
Judged in the favor of the farmer.
Because it was on his property?
It was on his property. And after several requests reasonably to get them to move, he removed it for them. And so he wasn't liable.
So you can sue that guy for removal cost of his car. I hope so.
I hope so. So, that's an extreme.
Yeah, it is. It is.
And
but sometimes you need some weird extreme like that, like this corner crossing case,
to highlight the need. And so, to me, it's like I can appreciate the concern though that you open up corner crossings, now you have a flooded hunting scenario. But at the same time, what if? So we have to figure out something that meets people on both sides.
Right. There'll definitely be some busy corners.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of corners just in the middle of nowhere.
Right. And so
that's where most of them are.
Yeah. And so what can we say about maybe some of those ranchers that have these cornered off blocks of land, scattered in their land, and they know that it's theirs, and they're
effectively it's theirs.
Right, but it's not fair to everyone else.
Right.
So I'm saying there needs to be something.
Yeah.
And I think a rite of passage.
And they have leases with hunters.
Yeah.
They have hunting guides. They say, oh, yeah, I'll let you lease my ranch. Oh, he's just leasing my ranch. It's just my ranch. His ranch is, 30-40% corner crossing.
Yeah.
40% of it is square mileage. And some of that even borders probably BLM or Forest Service. So, hey, where's my money? Where's my money for that?
Yeah. So I think the happy median should be that, just like a stream, there's an allowance. You have an allowance, and it's an access thing.
Easement allowance.
Yeah. It was
Yeah, okay. I agree with you, lawyer David.
Not a lawyer.
Buy Bitcoin.
But I play one on TV. So
I'm not a financial advisor, but my Dogecoin.
I don't know that I should reveal. So I have the.
If you don't know if you should, then you definitely should.
Thank you. I have an app. What is it called? Robinhood.
Oh yeah.
And I don't do much on there.
Yeah.
But I did these things, and it gave me free crypto.
Yeah.
For just answering some questions.
Yeah.
I was like, okay. And it has not done well. I'm sorry. Right. I did not put any money into that crypto. I only have it because they gave it to me.
Right.
And I've been watching it, and I'm like, dear Lord, this stuff is so unstable.
It's a train wreck.
I do lament, though, and Vesta knows this about when Bitcoin came out.
Yeah.
I was foaming at the mouth,
really,
trying to get my hands on some.
Wow.
And I didn't know how to do it.
Yeah.
And I was ready to take not all of the money we had, but just like I wanted to invest a couple $100 and just get some Bitcoin in 2009.
It would have been good. It would have been good. I didn't think I read my Bitcoin book until 2013 or something, but just before it went from 3,000 to 16,000. And now it's at 28.
Yeah.
It's doing much better now.
But it had,
But it will. Every time a bank fails, Bitcoin jumps. This last Silicon Valley Bank failure, Bitcoin went from $16,000 to $30,000 a coin. I mean, it took time to do that. If
you go onto a way back when machine where you can look at the historical websites, and if you were to find my Facebook profile, I don't know that I don't remember posting about Bitcoin, but I do remember when Tesla went public.
Yeah.
I made a comment. I said, I really wish I had $25,000 to invest in Tesla.
Oh, man.
That's a comment that I made. I either said 10 or 25. I think I said $25,000.
What would it be worth now?
I don't know.
Millions.
Yeah.
And no doubt millions. 25,000.
Yeah.
Holy jeez.
That I saw that coming. I'm not a financial advisor, but a couple of things just every now and then something just makes sense to me, and I'm like, I really want to do that.
Yeah,
and I have failed on those two. I can't kick myself. I just didn't know, and I didn't have the wherewithal to figure out how to find the information.
Well, next time something comes up, keep your
Exactly.
ear to the ground. When something comes up, be like, "Oh, I'm going to invest in that."
Yeah. No, I am, and but it's a few and far between kind of thing.
It is. Anyway,
all right. So enough of that rabbit hole. Let's see, where are we at here? Oh, I think this is we wanted to talk about elk, and we have talked about elk a little bit.
Some.
Let's actually navigate to that section of our conversation. This really cool study out of Yellowstone showing that cats, when a cougar kills an elk, any kill, but an elk is going to be one of them sometimes, the sight of that kill will foster such nutritious plant growth that the animals will come back, which creates a new opportunity for the cat to eat.
Yeah.
So it's the byproduct of an animal that's kind of lazy.
Yeah.
Because a cat is opportunistic typically.
Yes.
So I just think that's kind of rad that, hey, I'm going to unintentionally give myself future potential for harvest.
Yeah.
By killing in this manner.
And my offspring potential.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's really cool. And then, you think, well, sure, there's a lot of blood in the ground. That's a lot of good nutrients.
Yeah.
And it's the circle of life. That is just like how Mufasa explains the circle of life.
It is.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
All right.
From the sun. Sorry, I'm starting to.
Well, no, the antelope. We eat the antelope. The antelope eat the grass, and that's the circle of life, son.
Yeah.
It's a little maybe oversimplified, but
the day we arrive on the planet. Okay.
And trembling, step into the sun.
I don't know what this is all about, but sometimes you have things that you add that makes me go, why am I off social media? Because I would love to come across this stuff. Actually, this looks like a picture you took with your phone, or somebody did. Anyway, since it's so popular right now, what's this guy's score? And you have what looks like an elk with goat horns.
Yeah. So it's a really popular trend. Hey, I killed this bull back in 2008. What do you think he scored? And now I'm seeing you can buy a digital like 3D imager scorer for antlers. So you know exactly what it is, but everybody's like posting, "Oh, this is my elk from so and so. What do you think he scored? What do you think he scored?" And it's funny because you get some guys in there that's, it's like a 7x8, but one of them's broken and it's super wide and it's like so huge and you're like, "Oh, wow." And then you have guys like this that have, this is a spike bull elk, but both of its spikes are pointing straight out over its head like a sun visor on a baseball cap.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Ridiculous.
So it's like, hey, what's this guy score? So it's a fun trend, and I like seeing the pictures of everybody's bulls that they kill. It's really cool. And there's this guy's like, I've been hunting 20 years. I've filled the freezer 8 or 10 times.
Wow.
And he shows this bull. It's like a 3x4. And I've seen muley racks bigger, but he's just proud as punch. He's like, man, this is what I do. I love hunting elk, and I loved it too. So, yeah, it's fun to see that. I don't care what he scores. I don't care. Anything you kill with a bow is a trophy.
There you go.
That's a fact. Yeah.
Sorry, I was trying to make a joke on the spot there, and it was there, but the awkwardness because I couldn't get the words together. It's now not worth it. But it had something to do with a neighbor I used to have. Anyway.
Okay.
that almost worked. I almost swung it.
Okay.
I'll stop lobbing those kinds of shots. All right. That was a bow pun. Anyway.
Oh, it was. Okay. Kind of, yeah.
Anyway, let's talk about elk hunting. One of the things that we talk about in terms of conservation is being able to see opportunities expand across the United States.
Yeah.
And you have brought forth today a couple of sample platters of different states that are showing us that they are getting ready for elk hunting, such as Missouri.
Yeah.
Has a 2023 season for elk.
Yeah. Yeah. And so I was basically running a little low on content today. And I'm like, oh, geez, I better get some talking points. And so I went to RMEF on Facebook and just found some of these articles like, oh, we haven't talked about this one yet. Oh, we haven't talked about this one yet. And some of these are just hunting in different states.
Yeah.
There's a big elk hunt in North Dakota that they've increased their tags, I think, from 680 to 720 or something. Okay. And there's Missouri. Did I have Wisconsin in there as well?
Yeah, you did. And I just had an idea when we get done with this one. So we'll get through these states with hunting.
So I like seeing them. They're North Carolina. They're in Tennessee. They're in Virginia. We've seen elk hunts, and we'll continue to see a lot more. And it's really cool.
So an interesting spin on this. Maybe we need to get together and put together a map of the United States. What do you pair with your elk from the state you kill it in? So like Idaho is very obvious.
Yeah.
Potatoes.
Okay. I mean,
obviously. Wisconsin, it's going to be cheese.
Cheese.
Right?
I mean, Minnesota's got a pretty good potato production as well. I think it's second highest in the nation.
I don't know anything about the potatoes.
And then I looked it up the other day because I was
I'd be interested in getting an elk in Kentucky or Tennessee because there's a lot of good Kentucky and Tennessee whiskeys.
Yes,
I would pair that.
Yeah,
with
that's
that's
where I thought you were. That's where I thought you were going with.
If you get an elk in Pennsylvania, you have to cook it with the coal you mined.
Oh, there you go.
Right.
Okay,
so,
I got you.
So what are the nuances, right? In New Mexico, your elk is always being abducted by aliens, and
okay.
Sorry, I got this one in Roswell. Anyway,
no, that's fun. There's also the town of Truth or Consequences, New Mexico. There's always a joke in Truth or Consequences.
Yeah,
which changed its name for a movie. It used to be the name of something else, but a movie in Hollywood said, "Hey, if you change your name to this, we'll make a movie called this, Truth or Consequences, New Mexico."
Okay.
Anyways, it's a long time ago.
So anyway, just a fun little twist on things.
Sure.
If sorry, elk from Utah.
Okay. All right. You know
I'll stop.
It's really, really light beer. That's what you pair it with.
There you go.
A nice white wine spritzer.
Sorry. I don't know why I'm going down this road, but
that is one of the jokes me and my old co-host had for what I like to drink.
Because
it was one of the things
Ned Flanders spritzer.
There was one of the last things Ned Flanders said before he forgot everything and actually got married to somebody in Vegas with Homer.
Oh,
I'll have a white wine spritzer, and he just spiraled down from there. It's a gateway drug, man.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Utah. Speaking of Utah, Utah Division of Wildlife Resources. I'm sorry. The Utah Division of the Montana Fish, Wildlife, and Parks proposes a slight increase in public drawable elk permits. So, interesting. Just across the border, they're reducing tags.
Yeah,
but then
so in Colorado they've increased the tags, right?
No, Colorado was reducing it, but Utah is increasing them.
So Colorado reduces. And did you see the counties or the areas that they are reducing in?
Yeah,
what quadrant of the state would you say that is?
That's just on the northwest side. So just under Wyoming.
Right under Wyoming.
And right next to Utah.
Right where the wolves came in.
Oh.
That's what I saw when I looked at it. Of course, that
has nothing to do with the wolves.
It doesn't have anything. Well, they're not saying it has anything to do with the wolves.
They're saying it has something to do with harsh winter.
And it does. And I'm sure that that's true. But the reason I read that article, because I go, oh, look, they're cutting elk tags. That's right where the wolves went in. I know where this story is going.
Nope.
And I read the story, and it doesn't go there. I'm very sorry.
And you should be.
But the story of the wolf is going to change things.
Yeah.
It is going to change things. Whatever these numbers are now, if the wolves really are there in Colorado, and they are, it won't be long until they're in Utah. They will be there. They are protected in Colorado. They are protected in Utah. They are protected in Arizona and New Mexico, just like they are in Wyoming and Arizona and Washington.
Yeah.
And I did look up how many packs of wolves are in Oregon.
Okay.
So I didn't know there's like 27 or 35 in Washington.
Yeah, that's right.
So Washington. It was a similar amount. I think it was in the 20s.
Okay.
I don't know why I don't remember. I think so. I was looking it up.
Yeah.
A whole week ago. But there's a lot of wolves. There's a lot of wolves in Washington and Oregon, and they're coming in. I'm sure they're in Utah. I'm sure they're somewhere in Utah, and they're going in the Uintas especially. The Uintas comes into to a little bit into Wyoming, and so I know there's going to be wolves in Utah, and so anyways. That's always going to be a story on the Elk Season Podcast is what are the wolves doing and how are they impacting the elk population?
And I didn't watch the podcast or listen to it, but I noticed that Corey Jacobson and Rennie Newberg had a podcast released in the last week, and they were talking about wolves and things like that. But I don't know what their take on it was. I don't think a lot of people are talking the way that we do in terms of active conservation.
A lot of people tiptoe around it.
Yeah.
They tiptoe around it, and people tell me my job as a radio guy.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, you don't talk about a few things when you work on a country radio station, right? You don't make fun of church, and you just it's some pretty obvious things. But one of the obvious things is don't talk about wolves. And it doesn't seem obvious to me because I will talk about it. But it's a very sensitive subject on both sides.
Yeah.
And I think I fend off both sides equally.
Yeah.
So and I like my position on wolves. My position on wolves has been the same for more than 30 years. It may have changed a little bit. But
there's usually subtle shifts in our thinking, so you're probably right with that assessment of yourself.
So anyway, we'll see what the wolves do in Utah and in Colorado and how those states react to the policies. As Washington is going to have to do something, Oregon is going to have to do something.
Yeah.
So whether they just delist it or
it's going to be interesting to watch it unfold. Again, I've come on board to the idea active predator management is essential to a healthy ecosystem. We've disrupted everything, so we can't just put everything back and hope that it goes back to good because it's not going to be there anymore.
Right. We can't leave. We can't not kill deer now. We can't not kill elk.
Yeah.
We can't not do that. You know what that would do to our transportation system? In a few years, it would be bad. It would be really bad.
Yeah.
So, I mean, just that alone, not to mention the cattle industry and so a lot of the ranches, a lot of farms and stuff would just get totaled. We kill a lot of deer and elk in this country every year. And it's we kill over 20,000 elk a year. Well, last year.
Yeah.
Last year. I think it had been 7 or 8 years since we recorded a harvest of 20,000 or greater. So it's interesting to see that the wolf had come into Idaho and harvests went down. Elk harvests went down.
Yeah.
Then they came up along with the rise of the wolf all the way to 2015.
Yeah.
So I wonder what macro changes might be going on there. Just because the elk know where to hide when it's hunting season.
Yeah.
But when it's always hunting season and there's wolves,
that could increase your chances.
That changes things. I just drew that. I have no other facts to back
No, but it makes a lot of, to me, it seems like that could be plausible.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I would like someone to study that, please.
Yeah. Like I don't, until I get the study to tell me to stop saying it, I'm going to start promoting that.
Right. That's what happened. That is exactly what happened.
So,
as a scientist and financial advisor, I would like to say, wolf pelts are the new Bitcoin.
Hold on, I gotta get out my app here.
I got my wolf pelt buying app. I'll take 2 shares of a wolf pelt.
Oh man, I can only afford a third of one.
Well, better luck next time. Gotta wait and get them, buy them on bottom.
Yeah.
So yeah, the wolf question is interesting. It definitely changed things.
Yep.
And I know the overall elk population went down. It's gonna dip. It's gonna dip.
But that's part of that process until it stabilizes.
And the zoning laws that they have in Colorado, because so many neighborhoods are in the woods.
Yeah.
So many. The greatest thing, when you sent me the video of this guy talking in Southeast Oregon.
Northeast or Northwest.
Sorry. Southeast is what I meant. It's talking about the Greater Idaho movement, right? Getting Southeast Oregon into Idaho. Is that east, south, and east? Yeah.
Well, I think that was part of that, but that was really about the wolves.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah, and that was that was northeast or northeast. That's where we went gold prospecting.
Yes. Okay. So Ontario,
North Ontario, up on the Eagle. They even mentioned the river we went gold prospecting.
Oh yeah.
in.
Okay. So in the Blue Mountains.
Yes.
Right. Yeah. So over in Eastern Oregon, it's east anyway.
It's been a while.
So over in Eastern Oregon, I don't even know where I was going with that now.
Sorry, I had to fact check you along the way, and it disrupted your train of thought.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
That's all right.
It had something to do with Greater Idaho and wolves that are also petitioning to become part of Idaho.
So I remember where I was going. I was going where the report you sent me, the guy had his dog killed.
Yeah.
Now, if you extrapolate that to Colorado, where so many people live out in the country, and that country is elk territory. Mm-hmm. You see a picture of an elk with a road, with somebody's house, with somebody's car in it. You can it's 1 out of coming. 10. It's definitely going to be Colorado.
Yeah,
it's Colorado. There's so many roads. Colorado's a beautiful place. There's so many cool places to see. They have an elk population that is more than twice of that of Idaho.
Yeah.
Or Montana. It's just insane.
Yeah.
And now bringing wolves into that, they're going to push those elk into more neighborhoods, and those wolves will be in neighborhoods, and that's the real threat.
We'll see how that is managed as it unfolds.
Yeah.
Hopefully wisely.
Yeah, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do about the dog situation. If there's you say you put in place a law, well, after this time of day or this time of year, you can have wool or you can have your dog out, and or is there a law saying, well, if a wolf is harassing your animal, then you can shoot at it.
Yeah, the laws have to loosen for this to be effective.
Yeah, but then you could just be an angry elk hunter who sets his dog loose in the woods so you can shoot wolves. I know, right? I'm just devil's advocate there, but that's what you could do.
You could, and I would say if you're someone who's going to do that, I'm not even
lose my number.
I need the beeper button.
Yeah,
because that's just. It's just not right.
I'm just saying it's something like that would happen. Something like that would happen.
So I don't have any more tales to tell in terms of the stories. It's kind of a short week in terms of the news. I could add an addendum to the water situation because Salt Lake is filling up too.
Oh yeah, I did see that. Did you see any reports of that? I mean, how much water?
It's. I'm not sure how much more water they're going to have, but I know that they're saying, they're seeing water in spots they haven't had for a while.
I did see it come up in reference to the Weber River. Did you hear about the Weber River?
I've heard about that. Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, so we'll keep in touch with that. But I did, and you did too. There's both of us have something we haven't talked about yet, and it's this really cool video you sent me just today.
Oh yeah, gear.
This is such a great. I have a tarp.
Yeah.
I have a tarp for my hammock, and I'm all about the hammock camping.
Yeah.
Just for the warmth, the comfort and the warmth alone is really, really great. I do miss having my own little enclosure to change my clothes in the wilderness, and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know why. Somebody's phone scoping me, I know it.
Oh,
or you
man.
go out with your bros and you're like, well, I want to scratch this, but I can't. But really.
No, I get it.
And this, I know you do. I know.
Sorry,
you do.
my mind had to go there.
And
anyway.
this tarp was really cool.
Yeah.
So explain it to us.
So you've been trying to convince me about the hammock thing for a while,
Yeah.
and I have a hammock, but it's the wrong color. I don't want a blue hammock in the wilderness. It seems dumb, but that's where I'm at.
Right.
I haven't even used this hammock. I got it for like 7 years ago for a birthday.
Wow.
But anyway, so you put your hammock up between two trees, and this is a tarp system that you can put above your hammock, and you can use your trekking poles, and it's I think he said so many ounces, it was ridiculously small in weight.
Yeah. 18 ounces or something? Just over a pound.
Just over a pound. And it's like you can make yourself have a makeshift tent. So you're not just sleeping under the stars, and it's actually, it goes on the same trees. Anyway, it has, I think my favorite feature about it was you don't need any knots.
The sliding clips.
The
sliding clips were so nice.
And so I'm
not a knot guy.
When you see things like this, and I know we didn't do the best job describing it right now, but when you see something like this, you're like, okay, the cost is going to be through the roof. Like Peaks Equipment is a cool company.
Yeah.
But when I go look at things that I buy that I already have, it's through the roof expensive compared to what I have. And what I have is functional, like the trekking poles. And so this seemed like it was reasonably priced considering what it was.
What was the price? I didn't even look.
So I found their price point on that website that was on. So I went to the description of the video.
Oh, yeah.
Clicked on their web, and I think it was $180.
Wow.
$180
just for the tarp?
Just for the tarp and all the little things that it comes with.
Okay.
So and you can it kind of looks like a tent.
Yeah, it totally looks like a tent.
And
you can see how that tent, you can get it closer to the ground in cooler weather or in stormy weather, and a little more open towards the ground. So
he goes through all these different orientations of how he uses it. Do you want more sun? Do you want more closure? Do you want less wind? Do you have high wind? What do you want? What do you need in rain? And do this or that. He's just a really knowledgeable guy. I never heard of that guy before.
Yeah.
Just out of nowhere showed up in my feed, and I just happened to have the 11 minutes.
It was good, and I just had 7 or 8 to watch most of it.
Yeah.
But I did, and I'm like,
yeah,
I need that.
So
I really need that.
Yeah, it takes me a lot. I watch a lot of videos that I'll tell you about, and you're like, you need to send them to me. And so eventually I'll get better at just sending no matter what.
Right.
But that one, it was an automatic. Oh, Harold has to have this. I wasn't even done watching it when I sent it to you.
Okay, that's a good video. That's a good sign.
Within a minute, I'm like, oh, Harold needs this. So I copied it and sent it. And so we were watching it at the same time.
Yeah, we probably were. That was really cool. So I do like the hammock camping, and especially backpacking.
Yeah,
you just lose so much insulation.
That right there is convincing enough for me to want to invest in it, because I'm still packing out a tent.
Yeah.
But those two items, the hammock and that thing, compared to what I'm packing, holy crap.
Less than a tent. Less than
half a tent.
Yeah.
It just that. I think I needed to see that video.
I hiked up to. I have some really cool drone videos. They're on my TikTok, but I hiked up to the highest altitude lake in Idaho called Goat Lake, and there's a little lake down below at 500 or 600 feet below it called Bapti Lake, and that's where the only trees were. There weren't any trees up high at the upper lake, but there were probably 25 or 30 people camping at Bapti Lake. And
wow.
I think I saw 1 or 2 tents. So everybody was in a hammock. Okay. Everybody was in a hammock.
Yeah. So I went ahead and just pulled up the video, pulled up the website, just because. 5% off your first order.
Oh, 5%.
Offered from the website. It's called Superior Shelter.
Okay.
SuperiorGear.com.
Superior Gear, yeah. And he showed that logo quite a few times in the video.
$179.95.
Okay.
So that.
Yeah, that was a nice getup.
I'm becoming a believer on that. It just.
Yeah. I know. Did you add it to cart, or you just take a picture of it?
I just took a screenshot of it just because I kind of don't want to forget it. I'm probably not going to have it this year, but it's on my wish list now in terms of this makes sense.
Yeah.
So,
all right. I don't know even if I had an extra one, if I could get Jared to pack it, but I'd try. I would try.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right. Well, It's a short one. It's a short one this week. We'll
You're
be back
welcome.
next week. I do have
You right there. You're welcome.
I do have a camping trip / gold prospecting trip. I'll tell you all about next week.
I hope the roads are clear enough for you to be able to do that. I hope the water's not too high. I hope you stay warm.
I have a buddy who lives in Ontario.
Yeah.
He's already scouted it.
Okay. That's good news.
And I met him in a geology class in college.
All right.
So we're on the same page. So he's already done some scouting. He already knows where the first shovels are going.
Great.
So
Great.
that is a lot of a head start based on
what we've done in the past. Yeah. I'm a wee bit jealous, but excited too.
Yeah.
Can't wait to hear the tales.
If it's good, I'll bring you a bag. I'll bring you a bag and you pen it out. All right. Have a good week.
Cheers.
Goodbye.